middle school math. Here are some of my students. Our co-founder taught 6th grade math. Challenges that I mentioned, both in managing that classroom economy, but really the reason that we started the classroom economy in the first place was, one, that behavior management side of things, really trying to build that positive classroom culture that engaged students and allowed them to contribute to the classroom community. And at the same time, helping prepare students with real world skills.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like our students just weren't learning financial literacy in school, and I had no time or resources to bring it into the classroom. Took a step back and realized a lot of teachers and schools are experiencing these challenges. Right now, 70% of students are graduating unprepared to make financial decisions, and those habits start forming at the age of 6. So it's really important to start baking in financial literacy as early as kindergarten. And on that classroom culture side, teachers are losing 3 weeks of instructional time per year due to different behavior management challenges. I think especially, in the post-COVID era, I'm sure it's even more than 3 weeks per year. That's really why we started Class Equity. We are a digital classroom economy program. So teachers can now reinforce those positive behaviors. Students are learning how to build accountability and responsibility and practicing managing their own bank account and making financial decisions. And administrators can now also capture all of that data to help drive those tiered interventions and support. All grounded in evidence-based practices. Engage students with digital school bucks. You can completely customize this to fit what you're already doing in your classroom. You can now run that classroom store online. We have a ton of free reward ideas too that you can include. We really like the privilege-based experiential rewards. So things like, choosing flexible seating or 5 minutes of extra tech time. But again, you can customize it to what you're already doing. Then you can empower students with those classroom jobs. As you mentioned, you already have, that job board. With Class Equity, students can now also practice submitting job applications, even uploading a resume. It makes it easy on your end to help match and sort students to their top job preferences. And again, through this experience, preparing students for the real world, they get their very first bank account where they're managing and saving and budgeting for those different reward items. I'll jump ahead so we can jump into the demo, but I just wanted to share this one quote I love from one of our middle school teachers. She shared, "I no longer have to worry about discipline or student responsibilities because kids are motivated and build community in a way that I haven't experienced in 21 years of teaching." I think that community building aspect is really at the heart of what we're doing. On the teacher end, the dashboard kind of just summarizes everything in your account. So I'll come back to this at the end. But on the left side, this is where you can have your different class groupings, easily click in, see all of your students, classroom jobs that they have, their account balance, and then easily send those positive reinforcement touch points.
Oh, okay.
Again, all customizable, so you can align them to or goals that you're focusing on, such as having a growth mindset or attendance. And then you can also always customize it in the minute as well for whatever it is that you want to reward. You can also include fines with Class Equity. But so yeah, on Class Equity, you can include those fines here as well. Our biggest tip, if you're using fines, try to stick to that 5-to-1 bonus to fine ratio so that it really stays that positive system, but then you can still help, disincentivize some of those negative behaviors. And then you can easily send it over to your students. One pro tip is keep your sound effect on when you send it. You get that little noise. I swear it is magic. When students hear it, they sit up a little straighter, get back on task. They're like, someone's getting a bonus. So back to that like instant gratification, keep that on. And yeah, it's really impactful.
Like when you're taking money too?
Yep. Yeah, I'll show you what it sounds like for the fine. It's like a little like losing money sound. So yeah, swear it's magic.
Perfect.
On to the student end, so their account, they get their very first bank account. So instead of having those paper bank logs, now they can see their balance and then all of the different transactions that they're earning. I was a math teacher, so we also had to work in a little math reinforcement. Students actually have to add and subtract what they're earning in order to update that account balance.
I like that.
So yeah, you can align it to your math standards. As your students get older, you can start working in decimals. If a student gets it incorrect, it'll just say double check your math, but a great way to help build in those real world math skills. They can also see their job, all of their expectations and responsibilities. So students no longer are like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. They can see it all right here. They can view their activity history, similar to a bank account. This is also a great place to share home with parents. We recommend sharing your student login information with parents so they can log in and see everything that their child is earning and spending. Students can also click into your class, see the different jobs that are available. As I mentioned, they can even submit job applications, answering these 2 questions: what experiences make you the best candidate? Why do you want this job? You can completely adjust the salary. I'll customize that to what you are using in your classroom right now. Students can save up and purchase rewards in your online store. So they can scroll through, see the different items available, such as a pencil. I love when you can include this in the store because you're exactly right. When students are spending their own money on it, all of a sudden they have their pencils every day and they care about their possessions.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely you can include that in your store. But again, a ton of free ideas such as, going to the front of the lunch line or lunch with the teacher that you can, easily include in your store. Everything I've showed you so far is under our free plan. Quantities is one of our pro features. But that way it kind of just helps with that inventory management and running your school store a little easier.
I like it because it's so visual and stuff. And then, so I guess I do have a question. So is it easy, the students, when they sign in?
Good question. So 2 different options. You can sign in with Google, where we have Google single sign-on. So that makes it really easy. Or if your district prefers, you can also do a username and password. Jumping back to the teacher side really fast. Again, easy to set up and manage. When you sign up for a new class, you can easily click our suggestions, add suggested jobs, or whatever it may be.
I love it.
All of this is preset, so you can easily just plug and play or edit it to what you do in your classroom, like changing those salaries, different jobs that you already have. On that job board, you can easily click in and see the student applications, what they've written. You can hire students from there. Or if you'd prefer to skip the application process and just drag and drop, you can also easily do that. And then when you're ready to rotate jobs, you can just click clear all applications and do it again. Under the store, this is where you can see everything students have purchased. So when you give Michael Jordan his fancy pencil, you can just check it off your list. Under all items, again, this is where you can upload your own pictures, choose from one of our little graphics, enter, the reward, value, quantity. You can also open and close the store. So yeah, just makes it easier to manage on your end.
Wow.
And under the setup, this is where you can customize those bonuses and fines. And then you can also charge monthly bills, such as rent or utilities. Now you can keep up with it. You can turn on auto pay and auto expense for the paychecks and the bills, choosing either weekly, biweekly, or monthly. So for elementary, we usually recommend paychecks weekly to give them more of that, more frequent gratification. And then auto expense, you can do monthly, first Friday of the month. So now you don't have to worry about it. Students automatically get those paychecks and bills, and you're really just focusing on that positive reinforcement piece.
Dang, y'all thought of everything.
I know. I mean, it's fun building this with teachers that are using it too, because if we haven't thought of it, we'll get a little message. We'll be like, oh, that's a cool feature. We need to add it in. Like to mention on the student side, a cool feature we're building in right now is a savings account. So students can start setting savings goals, moving money from their to the savings. Be on the lookout for that this spring as well.
It's awesome. And Ms. Fox, I'll add one more thing that I've learned about it today is that if Ms. Chapman wanted to sign up for a campus level account, a school level account, you can have, the economy spreads across the campus, like even Ms. Chapman could give rewards, that students could spend money on, that kind of thing, campus wise.
Like it. Have you told Chapman that yet?
Not yet, but I'm going to cut this part out of the video that I'm recording right now and send it to her.
Perfect. I love it.
And you can do co-teachers. Under our free plan, this isn't a feature available, but with the pro and the school plan, you can add co-teachers. And that school plan is what allows students to connect to every teacher in your school. So your elective teachers can have accounts, or even some of our schools have like the cafeteria monitors or the bus drivers with accounts. So it can be that consistent system. Under this class overview, you can easily sort and see who's earning the most bonuses or the fewest bonuses. So that way you can say, oh, Beyonce, haven't shouted her out this week. Let me make sure I'm giving her a bonus, so that your students don't just fall through the cracks. Everyone's really getting that positive reinforcement.
How much is the premium plan?
Yeah, good question. So the pro plan, which is for still like classroom use that you can have the co-teachers with, is $100 per year per
Oh,
teacher,
okay. Oh,
or $12.50 per month if you want to do monthly.
okay.
I have one question. Is there a limit for students? How many maximum students can we put in this class equity?
Good question. No minimum. You can have, yeah, unlimited students.
All right,
Does
Miss
it
Webb
say?
is here with her fourth grade
Oh,
teachers from Godwin Elementary School.
amazing,
So,
amazing. Hi, Miss Webb.
Hi, I'm not sure if you can hear us. Sorry.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, hello. I saw your question, Miss Webb, in the chat. Yes, so it is a free resource. We have a free teacher plan with all of the base features, which I'll walk you through. Um, so yeah, I taught 7th and 8th grade math for a few years. I tried to do a paper currency system too, and just found it really hard to manage. I would lose them. My kids would lose them. They look really sweet here, but they would try to counterfeit them, and it just was not happening. We tried to start doing like a tracking on Google Sheets, and it was just really hard to do that way as well. So a teacher friend and I teamed up and thought there must be a better way to do this. I'm curious, as a 4th grade team, do y'all have any like grade level goals or values that you're working on this year?
I know, like, we have character traits every month, like campus wide. But per like classroom, the kids kind of have different token economies of some sort or fashion for each teacher.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. You can customize the bonuses. You can tie them back to the character counts, customize it per classroom. And this is also a really good way as a team to help build that consistency across classrooms. So now, every teacher, every student is on the same page.
There was a question of if the kids can pay bills.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And with class equity, students can also pay bills. As a teacher, we make it really easy to manage. You can turn on auto pay and auto expense for your paychecks and bills. So it automatically goes to your students. You don't have to keep up with it anymore. And then students are getting that experience of paying their monthly rent or utilities, and budgeting for the rewards in the store. So really preparing students for the real world with this online bank account.
Is there a way to present where kids are at every day? Like from the teacher's view for students to see, like with Class Dojo, they can see their points.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So on your end, this is what your class period will look like. So you can see their balance, and then you can sort here, by who has the most or fewest or alphabetical or whatever. So you could present this to your class. Students also have their very own account. They get their very first bank account so that they can log in and see how much money they're earning and saving. So I'll jump into that in a minute.
And then another question was, when I first jumped in, you said that students couldn't be in two classes, but for like the class, could you have more than one teacher on it?
Yeah, good question. So, we have the free plan, which is best for individual classroom teacher use. So students can only be connected to one teacher at a time. We have a pro plan that allows you to add co-teachers. So a few different teachers can be connected to your class. And then we also have a Teams and Schools plan that allows students to be connected to every teacher in your school. So your elective teachers, your admin team, even one of our schools, like the bus driver, has accounts.
Okay.
Provide that more cohesive system. So yeah, different plans there. But yeah, jumping into the quick overview of how it works. So from your classes page, you can easily send over those bonuses to your students. Again, all customizable, so you can align with class goals, such as being prepared or showing respect. You can also include fines. My biggest tip here is, if you do choose to use fines, number one, co-create them with your students. When they can have a say and what the different bonuses and fines are, they're held accountable and they're more engaged with the system as well. And also try to stick to a 5-to-1 bonus to fine ratio. So that way it's really staying that positive system. But if fines don't mesh with your class culture, you can also totally skip them, all customizable. And then you can send it over to your students. One pro tip, keep your sound effects on. Make sure pitching noise, and it is such a good redirection tool. Students will hear it, they'll sit up a little straighter. So yeah, definitely keep that sound on during class. They mentioned I taught math, so we had to work in a little math reinforcement. Students have to add and subtract what they're earning in order to update that account balance. So you can align the point values to your different math standards, start working in decimals if y'all have a decimal unit, to bake in a little extra real world math skills. From the student side, they can view their activity history like a bank account. We're also building in a savings account feature so students can start setting savings goals for different rewards in your stores. And then they can click into your class, see what different jobs might be available. They can submit job applications, ranking their top 3 choices, filling out these application questions, even uploading a resume. We have some teachers that even do job interviews, so some cool extension opportunities there.
That is awesome. How cool.
Super, super fun.
And you need to go be like the 10th person to go tell Miss Chapman how cool this is and that she needs to sign up for it.
Yes.
Sounds good. I can do that.
Love it. Well, yeah, I touched on this very quickly at the end, but we have this help center on our site that walks you through a ton of like getting started resources, easy way to set up your account, some different lesson plan ideas for how to introduce this to your students. So definitely recommend checking out that help center. And then, yeah, if you're playing around and have any other questions, feel free to shoot us a message. Katie, who is our other co-founder, and I basically live in this little blue chat bot. So you can send us a message anytime and we'll help out.
Perfect. Sounds great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. I'll let you get back to your lunch. Yeah,
I totally appreciate you making the effort to get here. Thank you.
Absolutely. No problem. Anytime.
All right. That wasn't bad. We had a decent turnout. Thank you very much. Go have a good rest of your day.
Appreciate it. Bye. All right.